Hello, everybody! Welcome back to Barney's Anniversary Month. Just like the first part, we'll be taking a look at 3 Barney live shows from the last half of the early 2000s to the late 2000s. Will those shows top over the previous ones from the 90s? Well, let's find out, shall we? Barney's Colorful World Live. Well, this one is a colorful extravaganza. In this video, it opens at Stacy's house, where the kids, Stacy, Jackson, and Laura were putting together a pretend show with their plushies, with Barney as the star. The children use their imaginations, and as Barney springs to life behind the curtain, the children transition from a room to a theater. Barney skips and bounces around the stage, greeting the audience as the Barney theme song plays, as well as singing If You're Happy and You Know It. After the song, Barney wants to introduce some friends to the audience, so he takes them to the park. Despite not seeing his friends, he eventually rings the caboose bell to call them out, as they sang Being Together. After introducing the kids, Sarah, Donnie, Mike, and Gina, they heard someone ringing the caboose bell, which turns out to be Baby Bop. After seeing the audience, she wonders who they are, in which Barney declares that they are friends. After Baby Bop invites everyone to do tongue twisters, Barney suggests that she should try an easier activity that everyone knows, cueing the song Mr. Knickerbocker. After the kids showed Baby Bop the toys that they were playing, they were unsure on what type of game that they are going to play with their toys, so Barney suggested that the children should use the idea bench to get an idea. When the kids are done with the idea bench, they decided to take a trip around the world, but it will take a lot of imagination. So after closing their eyes as well as using their imaginations, Mike's toy plane became a real airplane in which BJ appears to be the pilot. So after singing the airplane song, BJ left to put the airplane away as they land towards the jungle, cueing the song Jungle Adventure. Even the monkey comes out of the stage to join in on the fun. Then they just did some stuff in the jungle, like Baby Bop finding an elephant and then propped them to sing the elephant song, and then everyone used their imaginations to change the rain into something more fun while singing If All the Raindrops. After Donnie thanked Barney for taking them to the jungle, we get this line from BJ when Baby Bop got offended.
But it was awfully, green. What's wrong with green? Nothing.
Barney then leaves the stage and then he comes back with Donnie's toy bus, which is now a real bus called the Imagination Express. So after singing the wheels on the bus, he reveals that they have traveled to the Arctic. And after feeling cold, the kids and the little dinos went to get winter clothes. After finding some winter clothes, they spotted a polar bear hiding in the snow. As they sang It's Cold, they spotted penguins as they danced to Look at Me, I'm Dancing, and the gang looked up at the sky as Barney tells them about the northern lights as they sang the rainbow song. Baby Bop soon begins to feel cold again, so Barney tells her that the next place that they are going is nice and warm, which is the opposite of that. Before we continue talking about the plot, I wanted to mention something that I thought worth discussing. After Act 1, there was an intermission consist of a special scene where Barney's creator, Cheryl Leach, came backstage to bring roses to Barney in his dressing room and congratulate him on the success of the show. However, the intermission scene was not featured on the home video release of the show, so we may never know if footage of the intermission exists or how they set up the beginning of the show, or even the way Act 2 starts. Anyway, let's continue. After the break, Sarah's toy boat turned into a real boat as they sang I Love to Sail. Upon arrival, Barney goes to put the ship away, and the little dinos and the kids wondered where they are. Then Barney shows up in his tourist outfit and tells them that they are at some place where it's warm and sunny and sandy, and that would be the beach. Upon walking on the sand becomes too hot for Baby Bop's feet, so everyone did the Baby Bop hop in order for the sand to feel not hot on her feet. With all of this sunshine, Barney gives everyone sunglasses and sunscreen, but there wasn't enough sunscreen for BJ, so Baby Bop found a bigger bottle to squeeze it on him, and thus getting chased, which leads to Barney and the kids singing Mr. Sun, and after the song concludes, Baby Bop squeezed a large amount of sunscreen on BJ. Before Baby Bop sprayed sunscreen onto the audience, BJ found a dog named Ginger enjoying the beach. After playing a game with her by singing Bingo, Ginger left, probably to go digging in the sand. This prompts the gang to make a sand castle while singing Castle So High. Then they spotted two ducks waddling on the stage, cueing the song The Duckies Do, and after that, they assumed that the ducks went back into the water. The little dinos and the kids asked Barney if they could take a trip under the sea, so with a lot of imagination, they arrived in the ocean floor. Barney then asked the audience to hold their fishies to wave them around as they sang If I Live Under the Sea. After the song, Mike had found a treasure chest, or pirate's chest as they call it, and then when they opened it, they were bubbles blowing everywhere as they sang, well, bubbles. Then, after a conversation about fish, Baby Bop's favorite kind of fish is the starfish. Then this Elvis Presley looking starfish sang a rock and roll version of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
Man, those pop culture references goes really hard, am I right? After the song, everyone thanked Barney for bringing them under the sea, but they should also thank the audience since they all used their imaginations to make everything happen, which cues into the song Just Imagine. After everyone thanked the audience for using their imaginations, they reflect that their trip took them to lots of colorful places, which prompt them to sing Colors All Around before Gina's globe became gigantic and all of the animals arrived for the sequence. Barney then tells the audience that what makes the world so special is sharing it with the people they love, which leads into the famous song itself. After that, everyone waved their goodbyes and Barney blows a kiss to the audience. As the multicolored heart-shaped confetti falls, Jackson, Stacy, and Laura end up back in the room as Laura thanked Barney for the show, and the confetti continues to fall, bringing the show and the video to a close. The inspiration behind Barney's colorful world came from the desire of Stephen White to have an interesting, varied of looks and environments for the stage to keep things interesting. In terms of casting calls, Catherine Poley and Hayden Tweedy, who portrayed Beth and Sarah respectively, were asked to take part of the tour. However, Poley declined to take part in the tour, but Tweedy, on the other hand, reprised her role as the character. But her time on the tour didn't last that long, as she got replaced by Troy Green. And prior to this, Green appeared in the trailer for Comin' Over to Barney's House, and as an uncredited cameo in It's Your Birthday Barney during the Barney Says segment. As for costume performers, Barney would be performed by Corby Sullivan and Sarah Varon Schwartz, and then later during the tour, Patrick McAllister and Rick Starkweather would take on the role as the character, and one of the guys were trained by the original body actor, David Joyner, of how to do the 360 spins while they're in New York City. The show was originally slated to begin touring in September 2002, but it was eventually postponed for a few months until it got a soft run in January at Memphis, Tennessee, before it would make its world premiere on January 23, 2003 at Radio City Music Hall in New York City. The show performed in over 80 cities and performed over 400 shows, and the show was seen by over 750,000 people. As for the video itself, It was filmed at the Dodge Theater in Phoenix, Arizona in March 2004, and it would be released on VHS and DVD on September 14th later that year. This was also the final stage show to be released on home video, the only stage show to be released on DVD in the US, and the final stage show to be released on VHS. After the tour concluded in December 2004, Barney's Colorful World would perform in Latin America from 2007, 2009, and 2011, and interestingly enough, Riff performed as an intermission act for the tour. Oh yeah, this show was presented by Toys R Us during its original run, just to let you know. In terms of costume designs, well, I have very little to say about them since Barney's costume is based from season 9 and the two little dinos were based from their hit era costumes from said season. This marked the only appearances of Mike, Donnie, Gina, Mia, Sarah, and Oscar. This marked the final appearance of Stacy at the very least in production order. This marked the first time that Jennifer Kendall performed Baby Bop, and this marked the first time that Gerard Harris performed BJ. Fun fact, during the tour, Dave Kendall, BJ's costume actor, got engaged with Jennifer, and then in May 2004, they got married during the tour. You know, something tells me that I'm starting to see a pattern here. I gotta say, Barney's Colorful World Live is a great stage show. The set pieces like the park, the jungle, the Arctic, etc. are really nice. The actors felt like that they're having a blast with their roles, and the music is just fantastic. But my only gripe that I kinda had with the video version of the show is how the show was represented. The beginning and ending scenes with the kids, no matter from the US or UK, are fine, but it's the way of how they transitioned from Act 1 to Act 2. I do wish that the special intermission with Cheryl Leach was kept, as well as the beginning with the Barney doll on the idea bench. Aside from a few minor nitpicks, this is still a really good show. I think I might put this as number 4 in terms of Barney live shows. So, the live show itself gets a 9 out of 10, while the video version gets a 9.7 out of 10. While the video version is a bit of a step down compared to the previous live shows on home video, but that doesn't stop me from enjoying this amazing spectacle. Barney Live, the Let's Go Tour. Look, I know that the show hasn't been well documented and we only had one footage fully available outside of clips, but I will try to summarize the plot. While eager to share Baby Bop and BJ's toys with the audience, the toys are broken, leaving them with nothing to play with. So Barney takes them on a magical adventure to the toy factory where the toys can be repaired. With the help of the imagination machine, which is fueled by the children's imaginations, they meet dancing teddy bears, out-of-this-world robots, a blue jay who plays the blues, life-size instruments, and larger-than-life toys. And that's basically the plot of the show. The idea for the Let's Go tour came from Stephen White, who was brainstorming about the ultimate child's fantasy. Once the script was finished, meetings occurred, and Karen Barnes was concerned about the amount of toys and commercialization of the toys, despite being non-branded toys in the show. The show was originally going to be named Barney's Terrific Toy Factory, but due to the Let's Go video selling well, the name was changed to Let's Go to the Toy Factory by marketing executives before landing on the final title. This show is notable for being the first live appearance of Riff, but he was only in the second act. But then later on, as well as internationally, he was a part of the show in both acts. The tour was announced on December 19, 2005, highlighting that the tour would stop in 60 cities in 2006. However, unlike previous Barney National Stage Show tours, this one was promoted very poorly. Sure, Barney, BJ, and Baby Bop made their appearance on Live with Regis and Kelly, but that is not enough to market the tour to the fullest, hence the low attendance. There was originally going to be a home video release, hence a few small clips shown from the international advert from 2009, but given the show's low attendance and only performing for 1 year during its international run, it never occurred, which is a shame. If the Let's Go tour was marketed well, it would have been amazing to get this out on video. During the show's run in 2006, it grossed over $3.3 million and sold over 112,000 tickets for 60 shows. But then afterwards, the tour was cut short in North America due to low attendance, as I said before. Even though the tour was short-lived, it would later tour in the United Kingdom in honor of Barney's 20th anniversary in January to November of 2008. The show would also perform in Malta, Ireland, Dubai, and Oman from 2008, 2009, 2012, and 2013, respectively. This was the final stage show to be performed at Radio City Music Hall. This was the first time that Baby Bop was performed by Mitzi Evans before he or she would perform the character in 2 home videos, and this is one of the last productions to have any involvement from David Voss. Despite a couple of sources that we have from the tour, I think the Let's Go tour is pretty underrated and deserves more love and recognition than what it already got. The plot is kind of fun and the songs are pretty good, including the new ones like Broken Toys, The Toy Factory, and If You Imagine. The latter especially would go on to be used in Once Upon a Dino Tale, The Magic Lamp, A Travel Adventure, Barney's World of Imagination, and Mis Amigos de la Selva. Overall, despite its terrible marketing, Barney Live The Let's Go Tour is a pretty good stage show, so this gets an 8 out of 10. Barney's Space Adventures, also known as Adventures in Space in Latin America. Well everyone, this is the part where I will be diving into a few of the Barney live shows outside of the US. Through the power of the audience's imaginations, Barney springs into life before the theme song plays, and after singing 3 songs as well as the ensemble pretending to be robots, he has received a special invitation in the mail. Everyone is invited to the Perfectly Purple celebration on the Perfectly Purple planet. After singing Let's Go and Colors All Around, they began the countdown, but the rocket ship won't work. Thankfully, Riff comes in and he shows off the clapping machine that he invented. So after doing the clapping song, the clapping machine helped the rocket to blast off to the Perfectly Purple planet as they sang the rocket song. When they got to the Perfectly Purple planet, they meet the Jester, or the Purple Jester, a Jester character who can be very silly, very clumsy, and forgetful, and has the tendency to get lost or be confused. After singing 2 songs, they discover that the palace is far away, taking us to the intermission. After the intermission, and on their way to the palace, the gang gets lost and Jacob almost spoiled the surprise. After telling the audience to keep the surprise a secret, the Purple Jester and Barney had took a wrong turn and decided to go to the other path. After singing Laugh With Me, they arrived at the palace where they meet the king and then later the queen. They sing tons of songs and play a lot of games. Finally, Jacob reveals that they have a surprise for Barney, and the surprise for him is letting them know how they always be best friends with Barney. After doing the dino dance, it was time for the gang to head back to Earth, but while getting the clapping machine, the Purple Jester accidentally breaks it. Baby Bop can't wait to get home, but her singing triggers the clapping machine to work.
Oh, I see what happened. I think whatchamacallit's music instead of the thingamabob and the Watson. I accidentally changed the machine to use singing instead of clapping.
That explains why it worked while Baby Bop was singing.
After singing some farm nursery rhymes, the clapping machine, the singing machine is working again. The king and queen thanked Barney and his friends, and they gave him the Perfectly Purple key just so that they can visit anytime they want. So after singing A Friend Like You, they hopped aboard the rocket ship and they made their way back to Earth. When they got back to Earth, everyone had a great time with their trip to the Purple Planet, and they learned that it's tons of fun to share their imaginations with the people they love as they sang the famous song itself. After that, the gang waved their goodbyes and Barney blows a kiss at the audience, bringing the show to a mission accomplished. Barney's Space Adventures was the fourth original live tour production based on Barney and Friends to be based outside of the US, and the show was written by Esteban Grossi. He got an idea for the show when he saw the DVD cover of Barney in Outer Space while he was shopping at a store. The show toured in Latin America from 2008 to 2010, and then later on, they began production for the English version from September and October of 2009 before it would tour in different countries such as Asia and the Middle East from 2010 to 2012. When it comes to Barney's Space Adventures, it does have some differences between the Latin American tour and the Asian tour. For example, the Latin American version has 29 songs, while the Asian version has 28 songs. The Latin American version has Barney wearing a black vest and a green top hat during the Perfectly Purple party, but in the Asian and Middle East versions, Barney doesn't change his appearance that much. Instead of Barney's usual actor in the Latin American dub, Ruben Curda, Barney would be voiced by Moreno Chischa, and the Little Dinos would be voiced by unknown actors. Even though they mostly did the speaking parts for the show, they would use archival recordings from previous shows and albums.
Creo que ya están listos para volar las naves en espacio. ¿Y por qué no nos unimos a ellos? Me encanta ver las bandas tocar, que con sus sonidos nos hace vibrar.
No, Baby Bob soy yo, señor. Pues ese soy yo.
Sí, no puedo esperar a que comience el gran baile real. Mis padres me enseñaron cuando yo cumplí 2. Lo más importante era una buena educación.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that Barney makes a brief reference to Barney's Musical Castle.
Or we could go to a musical castle.
I gotta say, for a Barney live show that was exclusive to Latin America and Asia, this is a pretty good live show. The actors for the Dinos can range from good to decent, the ensemble cast did a pretty well job, and the plot is pretty fun too. So this is like what, the fourth time that Barney takes his friends to outer space? Overall, regardless on what version of Barney's Space Adventure that you prefer, this is a pretty good live show. So for that, I give this live show an 8 out of 10. Well everyone, that's part 2 of the Barney live shows. I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and let me know what are your thoughts on Barney's Colorful World, the ill-fated Let's Go tour, and Space Adventures. We are now reaching the end to the final part of the Barney Live Shows chapter of the series. So join me in next time where I'll be diving towards the final 2 Barney Live shows, Barney Live in Concert Birthday Bash, and Barney Live World Tour A Celebration. I don't know if I should do this during the summer or in late August, so if you have any suggestions, you can tell me in the comments below. Anyways, this is Dre Edwards, and I hope that you'll have a terrific day.